ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. Our ladies Fed Cup tennis team back on the court today at their America's Group 2 tie in Ecuador. Following a 2-1 win over Bolivia on opening day, the 2-4-2 getting off to a rough start with Danielle Thompson losing the opening rubber 6-3-2. The second rubber would come down to a third set, but Kerry Cartwright would pull it out, meaning everything would come down to the doubles. Cartwright would team with Simone Pratt, and they pulled it out once again. Straight sets 6-4-3 to secure the 2-1 win. Team Bahamas will now close out pool play against Bermuda, who are 0-2, having failed to win a match so far. Freedom Farm still unable to get back on track at the Little League Baseball World Series Caribbean qualifier in Puerto Rico. Despite losing their final 3 games in round-robin play, Freedom Farm still making it through to the semifinals today as the number 4 seed. That meant they had to take on the top-seeded Puerto Ricans, who had yet to lose a game, and the hosts kept that perfect record intact with a 3-0 shutout. Freedom Farm will close out tournament play tomorrow in the consolation game against Aruba. The SLS Resort, the place to be, as some of the basketball world's biggest names are in town. For more on that, here's Amajal Knowles.
Well, the privileged pool of the Bahamian Resort played host to several big-name NBA players last evening, including this year's #1 overall pick DeAndre Ayton and NBA champion and Splash brother Klay Thompson. The players in town for the annual Jeff Rogers Celebrity Basketball game that is set to take place tonight at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. Our news team caught up with Klay poolside, who told us how much he loves coming back to the Bahamas every year.
I have so much family back home, all my cousins, my aunties, my Uncle Colin, everybody, and it's only vacation, but it's not work, but you got to see your whole family. It's amazing, though.
As for the game itself, Thompson saying it is surreal playing in a game where he watched some of his favorite athletes and entertainers playing growing up.
I remember seeing that game when I was 12 years old, seeing Travis Knight and Brian McKnight. Those are my 2 favorite players in the game. That's funny. I've even seen Brian McKnight hoop when I was 12 in Kendall Isaacs gym. To be playing it now, and just, Kyrie's been out here, Draymond. Now we got DeAndre coming home. It's an amazing event. I mark it every time on my calendar, every summer. I always think of Jeff Rogers Celebrity Game. It's a staple in my family.
Also present was Klay's dad, Bahamian and former #1 overall pick and NBA champion Michael Sweetballs Thompson, who spoke about his admiration for recent Bahamian #1 overall selection DeAndre Ayton and his impact on the future of Bahamian basketball.
It'll give other kids the inspiration that they could do incredible things too. It doesn't have to be in basketball. It could be in other walks of life. But if DeAndre can attain these kind of levels, other kids can say, if he can get to where he wants to go, if I work hard, I can be successful like DeAndre. And he understands, what I like about DeAndre is he understands that a lot of kids are looking up to him and watching him, and he wants to be an example and a role model to these kids. And that's very astute for a 19-year-old to understand that. And he's very mature and wise beyond his years.
Thompson, who also works as a radio color commentator for his former team, the Los Angeles Lakers, gave our news team this exclusive.
With the run on the Lakers and with the talent we have coming in, and that was already there, I really believe the Lakers are the 2nd best team in the West. I think we're going to be better than Houston, or at least as good as Houston. I don't think we'll beat the Warriors yet, but I expect, and remember you heard this here first, Western Conference Finals, Golden State versus the Lakers.
Again, the celebrity game is scheduled to take place tonight at the Kendall G. Isaacs Gymnasium. The game is expected to feature the aforementioned players as well as Atlanta Hawks guard Trae Young and former Orlando Magic guard Shelvin Mack. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Amajal Knowles.
Before coming home, DeAndre Ayton receiving his first NBA honor. The Phoenix Suns center was named to the Summer League's 2nd team. He averaged 14.5 points, 10.5 rebounds, and 1 block shot per game while shooting 59.5% from the field. Ayton was also one of only 7 players to average a double-double. 2 Bahamian golfers competing in the R&A Junior British Open at St Andrews Club in Scotland this week, fresh off representing the country at the Caribbean Amateur Junior Championships in Jamaica. So Keith Hedge and Haley Turnquest both failed to make the cut. Hedge shot a 23 over 163 over 2 days. He opened up with an 83, which included a birdie, 8 pars, 5 bogeys, 3 double bogeys and a triple bogey. That was followed up by an 80 on day 2, where he also had a birdie, 7 pars, 9 bogeys, and a double bogey. As for Turnquest, she turned in a 24 over 164. She opened with a 79, which included 3 birdies, 7 pars, 4 bogeys, and 4 double bogeys. She struggled a lot in round 2, especially on the back 9, shooting an 85. The round included 7 pars, 7 bogeys, and 4 double bogeys. Our men's national softball team continuing to gear up for the Central American and Caribbean Games in Colombia, and there's one big setback they've been having heading into competition.
We just go qualify for these tournaments, and then that's about it. We just play here locally. When Venezuela and other teams, they travel year round, to stay in shape and see that competitive softball year round.
That's just a disadvantage that we have. Something that we have to work on as an organization, as a country, as a sporting authority on the whole. But right now we don't have time. We're here. The tournament is upon us, so we basically have to do what we have to do. We've always relied on our talent. Nothing's changed. We have to rely on it again.
Now, one positive the team has going for them is that they are at least in game shape, with CAC taking place during the peak of the local fast pitch season.
It helps with conditioning. It helps with you being in game situation, continuing to play, and also do cohesiveness between the two sides, and that provides unity.
The Johnson Truckers picked up an easy 18-3 win over the Alive Strikers on Tuesday night in the New Providence Softball Association, but the team knows every night is not going to be so easy.
When you play the better teams, you're going to have to bring your A game to the park. You can't play a team that is very, competitive and play them at a team who's non-competitive. So when you play a team at that level, you have to play at a higher level. So, as we go on, that's what we're doing, and we have a pretty good team to do the things that we need to do.
The Barbarian made some waves in both the B and C classes at the All Andres Barry Islands Regatta. Skipper and boat owner Delworth Gibson says that was no fluke.
We have been making some adjustments with our boats, and both of the boats, the adjustments worked out perfectly. The Barbarian is now sailing. This boat is dangerous, and we know we won in Andres, but we know if we compete in any regatta right now, we are going to be in the mix, because the adjustments we have made, the modifications we have had to do with the boat, we have spent some $27,000 on one of those boats, and it's working out. I have no problems. Bring them on. I'm willing to challenge anybody in the B class or the C class. If you think you can beat me, bring it on.
And that will do it for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamian Tonight comes back after the break.